selfonlinestudy.com. Solutions for smarter student. Welcome to selfonlinestudy.com. Methodical and intelligent learning solutions for student. Inspiring students across the globe on virtual learning and practice mock tests for final exam. Subscribe our YouTube channel and refer your friends to get bonus points and redeem the courses with zero cost.
Hello everybody, hope you are doing well. Today I will discuss about the living world. Before starting, remember one thing, that for NEET perspective, maybe this chapter is not so important as compared to later chapters, but this chapter is required to know the fundamental of biology. So please listen the discussion carefully, and if you have any queries or question, please feel free to ask me. Okay, and let's start. So we will discuss this chapter into 4 parts. Number 1, what is living? I know everybody knows what life is. So let's revise it, what we know. In brief, we can say that a living thing is an organized structure which is alive. Something that can grow, can move, can breathe, can reproduce and carry out various activities. It may be single-celled and as small as Mycoplasma genitalium. That is the smallest parasitic organism and the causative agent of chronic respiratory disease in many poultry animals like chickens, turkey, etc. Or it may multicellular as big as blue whale. Here I am talking about the giant marine creature, not about that social network phenomena challenge. I think you can realize, right? So now came, what are the characteristics of life? Okay, metabolism is one of the characteristics of life. So what is metabolism? A sum total of all biochemical reactions taking place inside a living system is known as metabolism. Two types of process you can find within a system. One is anabolism, which results in synthesis of a compound, and another one is catabolism, which results in breaking down of a compound. Next characteristics of life is cellular organization. Cells are the structural and functional unit of a living organism. In multicellular organism, they form tissues which then form organs and ultimately organ system. All living organisms have some other cell organelles like nucleus, mitochondria, chloroplastid, rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, etc. Then come consciousness. All living beings are conscious to sense their environment and respond to the stimuli. All these above three properties are categorized as defining property. Again, all living beings reproduce their progeny. That is, they have a characteristics to reproduce their offspring. This characteristics is known as reproduction. And all living beings grow in size and number, therefore growth is another characteristics of living being. However, reproduction and growth cannot be taken as defining property. Next come, what are the diversity of living world? Okay, before proceed, let's recapitulate the important points which we have learnt in what is living. Number 1, what is the smallest unicellular organism? Number 2, which is the largest animal on earth? Number 3, which is the largest plant on earth? And number 4, what are the characteristics of life? Question number 3 I didn't mention in my talk. You should find the name yourself and tell me the answer. So now come to the second point, number 2, diversity of living world. Now coming to the part diversity of living world. If you look around, you will see a plenty of variety of plants and animals around you. Moreover, there are also numerous organisms which we cannot see with our naked eyes, but they are all present all around us. Each of different kind of plant, animal or organism represents a species, and here come the term biodiversity. which encompasses all forms of life with variability and variety amongst them. The number of species that are known and described range between 1.7 to 1.8 million. As stated earlier, there are millions of plants and animals in the world, and we know them by their local names. These local names would vary from place to place, even within a country, and which might arise some confusion. Hence, there is a need of the process of standardizing the naming of the living organism so that organism is recognized by the same name globally. It is possible only when organisms are described correctly. The description of organism which makes possible its naming is called identification. Next come the classification. Classification is the process by which organism is grouped into convenient categories based on some characteristics. There are two branches, systematics and taxonomy. Systematic is the study of relationship among defined kind of organism and their derivatives, whereas taxonomy is the process of classification of all living organisms into different taxa based on their characteristics. Any organism is grouped into convenient category based on some easily observable characteristics. The scientification of this category is known as taxa. Now is nomenclature. The process of standardizing the naming of the living organism is known as nomenclature. It provides a distinct and proper name to an organism, and it becomes easy to recognize and differentiate a particular organism. Scientific names are based on certain principles. There are two codes, ICBN, International Code for Botanical Nomenclature, and ICZN, International Code for Zoological Nomenclature, are present to give the proper scientific name to the living organism. Next comes binomial nomenclature. This system of providing a name with two components is called binomial nomenclature. This naming system was given by Carolus Linnaeus and being practiced by biologists all over the world. There are certain criteria, universal rules of binomial nomenclature. We will describe them with an example of mango tree. The scientific name of mango tree, Mangifera indica. It is the Latin name of the mango tree. So biological names are generally in Latin and written in italics when printed or underlined when in handwritten. First word is the genus. Here it is the Mangifera, and the second word is the specific epithet. Here it is the indica. Genus name always starts with capital letter, and the species name are all small letters. Also, the author's name appears after the specific epithet. Here, Lin indicates the author name who first described the species, and here it is Linnaeus. So, if you get a question where Lin is written after the specific epithet, then the answer is Linnaeus. Okay, now start number 3, taxonomical categories. Taxonomic categories is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement, and thus it is called as taxonomic category, and all categories together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. Taxonomical study of all known organisms have led to the development of common categories such as kingdom, phylum or division in case of plants and fungi, class, order, family, genus and species. You can also remember this hierarchy by the sentence, kings play chess on a fine glass set. I have read this in one of my biology books and it helps me a lot to remember the tree. Some of the examples of common organisms with their taxonomical studies. Man, biological name Homo sapiens, its genus is Homo, family Hominidae, order Primata, class Mammalia, phylum Chordata. Next come housefly. Next come housefly. Biological name Musa domestica. The genus is Musa. It's come under family Museidae and order Diptera. The class is Insecta and the phylum is Arthropoda. Next is mango, Mangifera indica, where Mangifera is a genus name. It is under Anacardiaceae family. Order is Sapindales, class Dicotyledon, and division is Angiosperm. Wheat, biological name Triticum aestivum, genus Triticum. It is under Poaceae family. Order is Poales. It is under Monocotyledon class, and the division is Angiosperm. Now coming to the last part, that is taxonomical aids. So what do you mean by taxonomical aids? Taxonomists have developed a variety of procedures and techniques to store and preserve the information as well as the specimen. Some of these are explained here to help you understand the uses of these aids. Number 1, herbarium, the place where plant species are dried for preservation. Number 2, botanical garden, specialized garden having collection of living plants for reference and identification purpose. Some of the famous botanical gardens around the world are Kew in England, Indian Botanical Garden situated in Howrah, Shibpur. Next, museum, the place where dead plants and animals are preserved for study and reference. Next come zoological parks, places where live animals are kept in protected environment under human care. Then comes keys. It is a device used to identify each species in a group of organisms based on similarities and dissimilarities. Finally, there are recording description, which are of 4 types. Number 1, flora, that contains actual account of habitat and distribution of plants of a given area. It provides index to the plant species. Manuals provide information for identification of names of species found in an area. Monographs provide information on any one taxon, and catalogs helps in the identification of the organism. So this is the end of chapter 1, the living world. Please listen this session carefully once again and go through your textbook thoroughly. If you face any doubt, please feel free to contact us. Meanwhile, we will upload short, medium and broad questions to our site. If you want, you can try those questions and inform us if you face any difficulties during answering those questions. We will take another doubt clearance session on those queries one day. Thank you and best of luck.
Thanks for watching our video. Subscribe our YouTube channel and refer your friends to get bonus points and redeem the courses with 0 cost.